At the start of the lesson, I asked the students what they had previously discussed or what information they previously knew about torture. We built kind of a basic definition of torture using the blocks and the ideas. They would give qualifiers like, well, it involves pain, either physical or mental. Some of them agreed, some of them disagreed. As a class, the students discussed the different qualifiers and built a collective definition of what torture is. I asked them, what shapes your view, or where did you get this information? And the students would provide answers like, personal experience, family background. The kids went through the various news sources where they get their information. Then we, built this physical construction of how an idea is formed. What is influencing the thought process there. Then I asked the students to remove the subject, torture, and substituted a domestic issue. Let's talk abortion. Let's talk gay rights. And what they noticed was that regardless of the issue, the social construction that led to that idea was the same. In today's lesson, I felt like the identity and other was critically important because before you could discuss anything, you had to identify what is torture, what is not torture, what is legal, what is not legal. Having this very concrete idea of it either fits in the box or it's outside of the box really takes the conversation to a deeper level, forces the students to think about it and really take a stance. The points of view, was critical to this particular discussion. One of the greatest challenges in human geography is getting the students to disengage from an American ethnocentric perspective and view issues from a variety of points of view. But I think that having some kind of tangible way to construct that would really have streamlined that process. And I think I probably, and I'm just guessing here, would have seen some of the more advanced critical thinking skills appearing earlier in the course of the discussions. There were really two benefits. It both focused the discussion for the higher level students and also allowed people who normally don't participate as much to be much more involved. I felt like the pace of the discussion was faster than others that we've had. Since more students were willing to participate and willing to engage, there were fewer silences. It required far less prompting from me to get the discussion moving. At one point, it was like everyone had to talk at the same time and they couldn't even just wait to get their opinion out there. That very rarely happens. And usually when it does happen, it's two students involved in a back and forth. Whereas in this particular activity, I counted 7 kids at one time, just desperate to have the floor. Students who never participate, who couldn't wait to be heard, was very surprising to me. And what I witnessed personally with the ThinkBlocks is that more of the students were participating. Some students that I have not heard speak in a discussion all year, I saw those students participating and not just once. So that was pretty amazing. And I watched them. As soon as the box went into the larger, it was like, oh, I participated, I did something, I've created something. And there was also more buy-in then to the activity in general because they physically saw that something they contributed was building this whole activity for everyone. I asked the students for feedback on using the thinking blocks. One student said that he felt powerful and really felt like he was making a significant contribution to the discussion. It was overwhelmingly positive.